Hello guys, Wisteria is back, Wisteria is here, and I decided to make a new video for you. Since the last video about cultural differences did so well, I did not expect that. And I don't know why it did so well, maybe because I'm kind of like not new to the United States. As I mentioned, it will be almost 10 years soon since I've been here, and maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you just sick watching videos where the person just moved and they're already kind of saying that they know everything about the United States, and you kind of like don't like videos like that. So maybe my video makes more sense to you because I've moved a while ago and I'm still kind of learning, and I'm still noticing these cultural differences, and I think from my perspective I can share with you a larger picture on a larger scale, because I feel like even though I'm an immigrant, I know this country a little bit more and a little bit better than fresh one. Okay, so I prepared as always for you. I made my little list of my little categories, what I'm gonna tell you today. Basically, you live in the United States, like you are in this country, so as they say in Rome, live like Roman, so in United States, live like American. And I'd say that it doesn't mean that you need to forget your culture. No, that's awesome. Like, US is very multicultural. But I don't know if you understand the concept, how this country works. It is a famous concept of the melting pot. So basically people come here from all over the world. Like at some point it was a lot of Irish. At some point it was a lot of British, like, I don't know, Indians, a lot of from Mexicans, from any country. And they come here, and this theory is that they all gradually melt in this melting pot. What it means? It means that they accommodate, update, assimilate, call it how you want, but eventually they become Americans here. Yes, it might not happen right away, but it can happen faster or slower, but maybe not their generation, but their kids. And as you notice, it's not that many these little areas where it's just one culture representation in the United States. They exist and they're very unique, and I love them as well, but mainly people integrate. This is what very unique and specific about this country. And it's open for everyone, and I don't know, it's just awesome. So let's talk about the differences. So what I wrote here, it is a culture of planning, prevention, and safety. These kind of three things that were maybe a little bit new for me. I was not used to plan everything in my life so hard. Like, I had long-term goals, maybe I had short-term goals, but believe me, almost every average American has a planner, an organizer. It's either digital, either it's like a book, like little like textbook organizer, and they organize their calendar and what they're gonna do. They know like what they're gonna do in 2 years on particular date. And when you call them or you text them and you like ask, like, I don't know, what you want to plan something together, most of them usually answer you, let me look in my calendar, or let me look in my organizer. And this is how they live through their life. Everything is planned. Every little step, every little thought, I feel like they just add it to their calendar to make sure that will happen, and to make sure that does not interfere with other things that they planned to do. Every day, every hour is written down what they have to plan, what they planned. And I think it's kind of cool. I still don't have an organizer. I obviously have a calendar. I write main events in my calendar. I'm not that good in planning still, but calendar helps. And anyway, try to organize your life as much as possible. That's definitely very helpful. and it creates a routine. It's easier to live. I definitely believe in routine, and I think routine helps a lot, helps to have a smooth, like kind of nice life. And I like to follow my routine. I always have a routine for each day, every day very similar. Anyway, next one, it is a country that has a kind of a culture of prevention. A lot of it is even a little bit ridiculous. They are kind of all their thoughts kind of when they design something like engineering design, like when they design furniture, when they design like, I don't know, vacuum cleaner, there are always a lot of concerns about safety to prevent something that can happen, which is cool. It is good because obviously you don't want anything to happen, and it's also if you notice they have a lot of insurances. Sometimes it drives me nuts. Like it's completely different than I had in Ukraine. They have insurance for everything, not just like dental insurance, medical insurance, and whatever. It's like normal kinds of insurance, like car insurance. No, they have insurance for everything. You can insure anything in this country. You can, I don't know, insure your tomorrow. You can insure this table. You can insure like everything. I can insure this video. It's at some point it gets ridiculous. And some insurances, I agree, they're useful, but some of them, it's just their mind a little bit kind of thinks different. Some of them I feel like I don't need this insurance ever. It's just unnecessary subscription or unnecessary payment that I have to pay every month. Like I moved, when I moved, like I had to switch my mind a lot, like from, we don't have, I mean, we have some subscriptions in Ukraine, but it's very rarely subscriptions, credit cards, like loans, what else, like insurances. This is something that exists in Ukraine, but it's very kind of limited and almost no one has it, let's say that way. Here it's opposite. It's kind of good to have it, and people want to have insurances on everything, like on a house, like the roof, like you got hail and then your roof like got damaged, so they have insurance. Or like recently tornado happened in Nebraska, and a lot of houses were insured from that, which kind of helped them to rebuild a house, this is a good insurance. I agree, you need that, like, but sometimes it gets kind of, I'd say, a little bit too much. And I'm trying, I have some insurances, but I'm not obsessed with that. I don't know if it's obsession or maybe it's just a different way of thinking, but I'm not there yet. Anyway, that's a big thing that they have. And safety, I understand like why they are so about safety, and it gets ridiculous too, because sometimes you'll buy a chair or you'll buy a pillow, and on this pillow they put this little like thing, or like, you know, like from manufacturer, and they're putting on this pillow, under penalty of law, you're not allowed to cut off this tag, and there's some other bullshit on this tag. I cut these tags right away from pillows. Like what? Like why would I? Or from chair, from some piece of furniture. Why would you want this long tag? And they make it for some reason ridiculously big. This tag on your chair, which kind of everyone can see, and it just ugly looks. And it's with instructions to this thing, like, you know, this is like, I think it's a little bit too much. And of course they are doing all these safety precautions because their companies are afraid to be sued. They're afraid to the degree that they just write this long instruction or this long precautions and with small font and just not to be blamed in anything. Like, have you heard this recent story where the guy had like, the BMW, and he sued BMW and he won because somehow when he left the car, I don't know, it kind of closed without him knowing that the door will be closing, and it kind of cut his finger, and he lost his finger, he lost his job, everything. And he was able to prove in the court to the juries, he was able to persuade them that this is a mistake of manufacture of BMW, which I don't know if it's true, but he won. He won the court. So it's pretty, if you're reasonable, and sometimes even if you're not, you can go to court and you can persuade the juries sometimes. And everyone is cautious about that because no one wants to be sued. Everyone wants to make money, not to lose money, right? And moving to that, next thing that I wrote here is America is a culture of law. It is good. I think it's mainly good. The only kind of issue with that, what I see, that you have to have a relative or friend attorney in this country, or you have to have enough money to be able to afford attorney in this country. Because look at these cases like this. Are you watching this? I'm just, I don't know, it's my favorite thing to watch. Karen Reed's story. I don't know, guys. It's such an interesting case, trial case, and they show that in YouTube, videos. They stream it, and I just when I have free time, I'm just watching that. That's so interesting how she might not be even guilty. I don't know. If you're watching Karen Reed trial, tell me, do you think she's guilty or not? And if yes or no, and tell me why. Because it is very, very interesting case. But without the attorneys, without this power, without money, she would be claimed guilty 100%, and she would have been already probably in very bad position. That's why it's so important to have an attorney in this country who will protect and stand up for your rights and for, I don't know, they can do a lot. Or look at this Johnny Depp cases, or so many famous cases that, I don't know, it's just so many of them. I kind of like watching these little things on YouTube. It's kind of very entertaining, but it's people's life. And the only way for them to survive sometimes is to have a good attorney. So that's is good about this country, but you need attorney. That means you need to have a friend or relative or money for attorney. Next one, what I've learned, and you noticed that too, Americans are very open. So I am sometimes impressed how openly they discuss most embarrassing moments in their life or in their relationship. Something that probably people would never share in other countries, but here they can talk almost about anything. They have boundaries, obviously. You cannot ask some questions like that, but sometimes they just tell you, they just share with you. They are willing to say that, And I think it's good because once you open yourself, once you expose yourself, you don't have anything to hide, and it's just easier to live open. And I know a lot of people disagree with me. A lot of this hiding conspiracy or whatever exists in other countries. But look at America. This is the most, or let's say one of the most successful countries in the world. And they are open, they're honest, they expose all shit. They're not afraid to say stuff and open and tell the truth. And I think that's my answer to this, all people who are hiding and trying to sneak and everything. I think that's the best answer, because just look where your country is with this policy and where this country is with this open kind of policy. Let's move on. If you want to get helped, just be nice and polite, because this kind of rule works everywhere. People want to help nice people. People want to be treated nicely. If you treat people nicely, they are more willing to help you. Gosh, somebody is so loud, some cars so loud outside. So that's just obviously, politeness, nice, it just helps if you want to get help or if you need help. And most Americans are kind. They want to do good things. It's also kind of a little in their culture. They want to be heroes. Look at these all Marvel stories, all these comics, all these superhero movies. They have so many of them. It's in their culture. They want to save the world. They want to be good. And I think it's very good traits. And moving on, okay, there are not that many superstitious people here, which is nice, so nice. I mean, they still exist, but it's way less than everywhere else, I can tell you guys. And this superstitious sometimes drives me nuts, like this horoscope and all other bullshit which has no proof. And I don't know, it's good for fun. I read sometimes my horoscope for fun, and it kind of brings me good emotions, positive, and I'm grateful for that, but no more than that, guys, right? Anyway, it's just about me. Let's talk a little bit about the negatives. Besides all this positive, there are some negatives. I mean, negatives, they exist everywhere, but here a lot of it's so many, these phone scammers. I think they're everywhere, not just in the United States. There's all, I don't know, like 20 ways to scam you. They send you messages, they call you, they want to find your personal data. Very often there are breaches, and your personal data is sold online by big corporates, and no one can find who sold it, and you get scammed, and that happens very often. And you can lose a lot of money on that. So as probably everywhere else, you just need to be cautious and don't trust people you don't know. But mostly it's about your phone. Like, it's so many scam related to your phone, how they do it, that just be careful with that. There are other ways too. Like, when I lived here, I remember 2 times I dealt with scammers so bad, and I had to expose once, like, I bought something through PayPal, and they persuaded PayPal that they delivered me this thing, and I had to go through such long process with the post office in order to prove that I didn't receive this thing, and it was sent to completely wrong address. It was completely but it's very hard to prove, but I did it, and I kind of felt like I won these scammers. But imagine how much time, energy I wasted. So try to be very, very cautious. There is like millions of scammers. I don't know, a lot. Let's talk next. So next, which I'm kind of not also happy about, is this country has lots of corporates. And the amount of corporates, I think, increases every year. We just get more and more of them. This is kind of scary, but let me a little bit explain to you. So corporates, these big companies who own some particular businesses. It can be airlines, it can be businesses like, pharmacies, it can be dentistry. Yes, guys, dentistry, a lot of corporate dentistry here. So when you will be in the program, or maybe you're already in the program, you notice that how many you have lunch and learn, or they bring you free pizza, or they bring you free cookies, or they bring you something free, and most likely it's some corporate dentistry does it. So they try to penetrate dentistry already from the dental school, and which is nice. They explain a lot of things. I'm not like against this lunch and learns, but some corporate dentistry, they donate money to dental school, and I feel like this is dangerous. Once dental schools, not all of them, but some of them take these donations from corporates because they need money for education. That's where it gets very dangerous. And there is another, that's just particularly in dentistry, but there is, it happens everywhere, like in pharmacy, like dentistry, they just started occupying. In pharmaceutical business, it happened like, I don't know, a while ago. A lot of pharmacy business belongs to corporates, and it happens with even law firms, which is harder because obviously attorneys will be probably the last who will agree on that, but they will find a way. Landlords companies, house market. How many house market is artificially blown or expanded, the prices are artificially kept high just because of these corporates banks who would just buy like houses at a higher price and would keep the prices on the houses. This is very, I'd say, scary, and sometimes the government takes care of that. Sometimes FBI starts investigations and they put these corporates on their place, or sometimes a lot of people get kind of hurt by what they're doing and they will start some lawsuit. Like example would be like this, remember at some point iPhones were kind of, people would complain that their phones like starts working slower, the lower generations of iPhones, and there was a lawsuit where with Apple, and sometimes this lawsuit happens, but this is, let's switch a little bit. This is what is good. So when corporates exist in every country, maybe not, but tell me, what do you think? Maybe it's a little bit too many in America, more than anywhere else, but this country is also large, you know? There are not that many such large countries. But the good thing that it's still law exists, and there is still the lawsuits with them, and people are still fighting corporates, which gives you hope, right? But I think it's kind of dark side of this country, this amount of corporates. Because think about that, how nice America was before, when everyone had this little private business, every family. When, like, this is for what America is kind of made. They want you to have little private business, every family, and it kind of makes it very nice and unique, because you need to find something special that you can manufacture and sell, and it's obviously something very interesting, because otherwise people will not buy it. And that's the way this country existed, and it's kind of very nice. But once corporate came and they started like occupying all the small businesses, it's very hard to compete, because obviously corporates are way richer, way bigger, right? So small businesses kind of, it's harder for them to survive. But again, law exists, so we will hope for the best. And I think there are just few more sentences I wrote in my preparation list. I wrote, obviously, despite the melting pot, it still matters what are your goals in this country. And remember, this country of opportunities. And just the thing that I don't know, I won't say that I like the most, but I like a lot in this country, and they're definitely better than in Ukraine. Two things I can tell for sure. They have best cookies, so try American cookies. And they make them, sometimes they have the small cookie companies where they sell them. They're delicious, in my opinion, again. And the second thing is ice cream. I think America has best ice cream, no question. If I'm not right, just tell me, but I think America has best ice cream. Try their ice cream. My favorite ice cream is Cold Stone cookie dough, but I don't know, I've tried lots of ice creams here and they're all delicious. Cookies and ice cream, try these two things and start from there, and then see if you like everything else. That's my advice. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so happy the previous one did so well. We'll see how this video will do. Ask me any questions, and at some point I want to record a video about my story, how I moved to this country, basically my immigration story. Let me know if that's something will be interesting to me. Let you know if you have questions about, so I can address them in my next video. Anyway guys, I hope the cycle goes well to you. I'm sure lots of you already got in, and I'm sure you all will get in at some point. So take stress low, don't stress out, enjoy your life, and see you in my next video. Bye guys!